Alright, Jitterbug intro here. Just a couple bass notes with some chord strums. Go through it 4 times. We're just going to go 3, 5, 3 on the E, and then come down on a C chord. 3 on the A, 5 on the D, G, B there. Couple strums there. Short little staccato strums. And we just do that 4 times. And then you can kind of mimic the organ at the end of it, where it does this little gliss up here, so it just slides up to say 12 on the G. Give it a little something there. Verse gets going. Chords are a little bit subdued, kind of muted a little bit, but we'll start here with that same C chord. All right, we just give it a strum. Space a couple more out throughout the measure. All right, next measure, just do, a couple closer together, 2 pairs of closer together strums. Okay, just kind of arbitrary, just kind of loose strumming. Something like that, okay? And kind of just going with like the cadence of the vocal. From there, it'll jump up to a D minor. All right, do it this 5 on the A, 7D, 7G with the 6B. And with this, just one measure. Just kind of do 3 kind of mildly spaced out strums. All right, back to the C, with just one measure here. A couple strums and a couple close together. All right. And basically we would go through that 2 measures of C, the 1 D minor, 1 C, go through that twice. And then you can add this little bit where we go through the first 2 C measures, the D measure, and then there's this little bit of a riff that happens there, where instead of just playing like the C chord, he'll do a couple 3s on the A, 5 to 3 on the E. Just a little something there. So you can toss that in there too if you like. Pre-chorus section, kind of a long string of chords here, but the dynamic's not too crazy. We just kind of do 2 strums and then cut, all right? And that happens about 1 per measure for each chord. So start with the D minor, so just 2 strums, the rest of the measure. All right, E minor, a couple strums, F, all right, and this little bit here, kind of comes in, I think, more towards the last couple choruses, where we would just do an E minor again, if you want to go that way, or you can do this little riff that happens where you hit the open E, and then come up here. We slide 8s up to 10, back to 8, back to 10, back to 8. Just a little riff thing that happens in there if you want to get a little tricky with it. But then we would just continue. Similar progression. We go D minor, E minor, F, and then finish the whole thing with G. and you just kind of do some building up, you know, quarter note strums with this for a couple measures there. All right, just kind of hit that first one of the last measure and just let it rest there. And a special note with this also, after the horn solo, this progression happens again, but each chord is just a single arpeggiated strum per measure. You know, like it would just be like that style. So heads up for that. For the chorus, you could do single strums on chords if you like, depending on the the dynamic and the style you're going for. An actual recording, he's kind of doing this little bouncing riff that happens. So it'll start with a C measure, and we got that C bass note here, so we just hit the 3 on the A, but then we do this little hammer on 3 to 5 E, come back to the 3 on the A, and do the 3 to 5 on the E again. Alright, go through that twice. Alright, we hit that final 3-5 on the E, but now we're going to switch to D minor, so we'll just be hitting that 5 on the A for the D bass note, keeping that same 3 to 5 hammer on that happens in between it. Just do one measure's worth. Alright, then we just go right back to the C. But a little trick thing here, he starts with the C bass note, does the 3-5 hammer on, but then hits a G bass note on the 3 of the E right there, and then does the 3 to 5 again. So it's alright, and we just loop that whole thing, that C, D minor, C, do that twice, and at the outro, that just repeats all the way to the fade out. Alright, but initially for the first couple choruses, we just go through it twice, and then we get to this ending where we just do a split measure of E minor to D minor. Okay, that's a Take Me Dancing. Alright, then we end up on this C, and if you want, you can just hit the C and just let it ring for 4 measures. Or you can try to mimic the organ, which does this descending note here, which makes a C7, C6 to regular C. So just bar the C all the way down and keep the 6 on the E. And we just do some 4 strums on that. Come off to just 5s all the way down to make it a C6. And then just make that E a 3 to make it a normal C chord. Keep that final C chord for 2 measures. Okay, and there's just a little flourish thing that comes in here to take note of. It's the post second chorus interlude that happens. It's right where that final G hits, and it goes on for a couple measures, and he says hit that high. There's kind of some like plucked bass notes here, like C bass notes, 3 on the A. Just kind of like pull them, kind of slap bass style or whatever. Just hit about 5 of them like that. Alright, and then he comes up and does a cool little bend here. 15 on the E, and then we bend 16B, hit it, release it, come off to 13B. Thanks for checking out the video, everybody. Like it, share it, leave a comment. It's always good to hear from you. Do me a favor and hit the subscription button. I put out a video pretty frequent, so you don't want to miss out on that. Check out the links in the description box below. I have really cool links for tablature books, all the gear I use, t-shirts, fun stuff like that. So thank you very much, and we'll see you next time.